Okay, guys, I'm hoping that this is working. So I'm going to put some hot water in my coffee. So we're going to do, hopefully, part 2 of defending Elvis Presley's. Well, obviously, here we are on defending Elvis Presley. So we are here to defend. This is what our job is here on this channel. So let me just start playing. Hang on a minute. I just got a message from my son. Let me just send my son some lunch money. Actually, okay. So, hi, Carolyn. We're on here. We've done it. I'll be messing around and I'm trying to stop the camera moving. So I think we've done it. I know that if I keep waving my hands around, that might change. We're going to discuss a section of the Dave HEBLER film. Now, I was trying to find... Hi, Denise. I was trying to find the bit in here where he talks about Lisa, where Michael Edwards talks about Lisa. I just couldn't find it. So I was going to... So in the end, I thought instead of spending hours looking for it, I thought I might ask you guys to let me know. Do any of you know? Do any of you know which section? Hi, Finola. Finola, where have you been? Where have you been hiding, Finola? We've lost you. Come on. Welcome back, Finola. So, right, let me just quickly get some hot water in this coffee so it's going to last me. In your arms. Okay. That will sort me out for an hour. Okay, let's sit down. Woo! You wasn't getting notifications? Finola, are you on my Facebook? Because I can message you. Are you on my Facebook? That's strange, isn't it? But Finola, in case, just to play catch up, we now are doing videos on both channels. So, obviously we do them on defending Elvis Presley, yeah? But we are now we're taking it in turns. We're alternating between defending Elvis Presley and Elvis Presley fan on keto. So let me just show you the other channel. Now, guys, it's very important that you subscribe to this channel because this is quite a new channel. I am pushing more of the videos onto it. I don't know if it's going to focus. There we are. It's not very good focus, guys, but there we go. Elvis Presley fan on keto. So it's important. You must subscribe to that, guys, because I'm going to be putting a lot of the stuff on there. Elvis Presley fan on keto. Now, on that channel, we do also discuss the diet as well, the keto diet as well, carnivore diet as well. So it isn't just Elvis. It's a mixture of Elvis, light-hearted Elvis stuff. Like today, this morning over there, we did some of the movie trailers. We discussed some of the movies. Yeah, I've noticed it is starting to grow. I do like the way it's growing, the Elvis Presley fan on keto. So that is our new baby. It's our sister channel. And then obviously here we're defending. We're defending here. This is much more serious. Okay. Defending Elvis Presley is for the serious stuff. Okay. Which upsets some people, doesn't it? Yeah. We do get a bit of a backlash from defending, but I don't care. We're going to do it because we want to. Now, we want to defend Elvis and Lisa and the bloodline, and because of it, we do discuss some pretty serious stuff. Now, we know this book is an admission, in our opinion, from Michael Edwards against the alleged abuse of Lisa Marie. We want justice for Lisa Marie. We know that Lisa Marie, I have to say this every day, we know that Lisa Marie, in her own words on tape, has allegedly said, that allegedly she was, had sexual abuse from Michael Edwards, the actor, the model, Priscilla's boyfriend. I think she was with him for 6 years or something. So we want that investigated by the authorities. We want Priscilla questioned because she was the responsible parent. So I feel that Priscilla is equally responsible for what happened to poor Lisa when she was just a child. Hi, Deborah. She is equally responsible. Yeah? So they both need to be questioned. Okay, guys, it's a serious topic. Now, I found this book in my attic. It's probably been in my attic for 30 years. Yeah? A long time. 25 years. At least 20 years. Yeah? So we want to find the bits in this book where Michael Edwards admits having feelings, sexual feelings, for poor Lisa Marie when she was a child. Yeah? So this is... Hi, Karen. Hope you're well today. Karen, I bet you're hungry, aren't you? I bet you're starving. Karen, are you starving? Right. So anyway, we're going to do the Dave HEBLER interview section first. It's just a short section of it. But I do remember... It says here, look, just a little tiny bit of this book. Lisa was beginning to display many of her mother's traits. They were both very private people, but very romantic too. I wondered if guys would be attracted to Lisa mainly because she was Elvis's daughter. Was that boy in the back seat now feeling the same joy that I'd felt when I'd won Priscilla? So, put it in the comments later, guys. But does anyone know what page that Michael Edwards, in his book, Priscilla, Elvis and Me, where he discussed that he had feelings for Lisa? Because I want to talk about it so I can defend Lisa and try and prove the wrongdoing of Michael Edwards. The actor, the guy of Terminator. Does anyone know the page it was on? Yeah, Finola, she only started yesterday. Finola, are you doing it? Tell me, Finola, are you doing it? No, I just want to find the bit. Lisa was now settled into her second year of private school. Priscilla, I was told, Priscilla, it was better to let Lisa experience things than not constantly hide her away, protecting her from life. When she grew up, she had to face the world on her own. She'd be able to make her own decisions. Whereas Priscilla preferred keeping Lisa under her wing. All right, okay. So yeah, Finola, we do, because we're on the other channel, we do discuss the diet. I don't discuss the diet here, but on the other channel we do. Defending Elvis Presley fan on keto. And I am, Finola, I am posting a lot of stuff over there now. You think... Finola, I think I'd get headaches and go all shaky. Why? Finola, why? Why would you get headaches and go all shaky? Because you're eating meat and veg and fruit. Oh, there's no pressure to do it, Finola. Just look it up. High grade visitation. Hi, Kahal. Today we are discussing Dave HEBLER, who is a bodyguard of Elvis that wrote the tell-all book. Elvis, What Happened? This book was released 2 weeks before Elvis died. We see this book as a betrayal to Elvis. We feel that his three friends stitched him up for money, for greed, for revenge, because they were angry. Yeah? So we're going to play a section of that interview. He does get quite angry. We're going to discuss it, but I also was trying to find the bit in this book that discusses Michael Edwards, the guy who allegedly sexually abused Lisa Marie. Remember, Lisa Marie said it in her book. Lisa Marie said in her book she had been sexually abused by her mother's boyfriend, Priscilla. Yeah? So it's quite a serious topic. I was trying to find the section in the book where Michael Edwards admits that he had sexual feelings for Lisa. I can't find it, so I'm hoping one of you guys may tell me. Finola, the key is to eat large. Yeah, listen to Carolyn. She knows what she's doing, man. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. Kahau, I've watched it. Yeah. Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah. Right, let's play a section of Dave Hebler. We did play some of this yesterday, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, guys? Go. Right, I warn you, this does echo a bit. This does echo a bit, but let's just go with it, yeah? When it came out, it was brought out to be in competition. And so when they started off in 1976, this was one of their first big stories. So they put their best guy, Steve Dunlap, and Scoop reported. And so that way that came out about stuff was added. And so there's the reason why. So I have no reason to believe that your stories weren't great stories, because in reading the book, I didn't read a ton of things. And I'll give you a perfect example. And I'll tell this to everybody. Pick up that book. Read. Right, guys. Right, let's do a bit of a sound check. Is it loud enough? Is it loud enough? I just want to know that for a minute. We just need to know if it's loud enough. I'll play a bit more and then you tell me, okay, guys? All right, okay, let me turn it up. Okay, let's go to the... Oh, I see. It's been turned down by mistake. All right. We have a breakdown. Houston, we have a breakdown. Right, now, tell me now, guys. Is it on? It may echo a bit, but let me know if it's loud enough. Got to find it now. Okay, where are you gone? Here we go. Right, hang on. Let's get this off. Right, are we ready? 1, 2, 3, and go.
Okay, right? We never said those words. Those were not our words. Right. We didn't say those words. Right. And they did the same thing to the content in the book.
Maddie, can you give me the book that's in my bag?
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, there it is. This has been your worst night. This has been your worst nightmare. Let me ask you about this. If we could go back.
Right, let me just minimize that a minute. So, right, guys. So, can I just ask you, is it echoing? Is it echoing at the moment? Because I can just turn it down a bit. Let me know, okay, guys?
To 1976 now, and you're sitting there with the three guys, knowing what you know now. What would you say? Would you want to do it again?
Right, did you hear that question? What would you say now? Would you do it again? Do you regret this? I'm going to go back a little bit. Now remember, guys, Dave HEBLER, he's in his 80s. He's been punished for writing that book his whole life. His whole life, Dave has been punished. Yeah? So now is his opportunity. Oh, that's good. Now is his opportunity to say sorry. Yeah, you think about it. In 1977, they released the book for money. They got money for the book, money for every copy that was sold. They took the decision after being upset how they were sacked, and they must have had many other reasons, to betray their friend that was only good to them. Elvis was very, very, very good to them. Very good. Yeah. Not just them, to their families as well. Gave them many gifts. Some of them got houses. Some of them got you know, horses, motorbikes, free holidays. They spent their life with Elvis Presley, the most famous man in the world. Their friends were celebrities because of Elvis. They literally lived like royalty for years. Now, I know Dave HEBLER was only with Elvis 3 to 5 years, but Sonny and Red, well, Red West went to school, went to the same school as Elvis. And we know the story where Red West protected Elvis, from having his hair cut. Red West stood up for Elvis against the bullies. Eventually, he introduces Sonny to Elvis. So there's a very long-standing friendship here. There's a very long-standing friendship here. Yeah. So when they took the decision to write this book, this was mega serious, okay? This was a friend writing things that are very private, things they should have kept to themselves. I also think they twisted it because they just talk about him like he was a drug addict. They don't mention that he was sick as sick as can be. Elvis in 1977, and the leader, 75, 6, 7 was becoming very, very sick. Many different parts of his body were just breaking down. He was completely reliant on his doctors, his nurses, his pharmacists, on his prescribed medication, just to function, just to get through each day, to wake him up, to go to sleep. He had the worst insomnia. He was in a lot of pain. Yeah. So guys, this book should never have been written. Okay, let's keep going.
I'll give you a perfect example. And I'll tell this to everybody. Pick up that book. Read the front cover.
Right.
Read the back cover. It's all pretty sensational. It's all fairly nasty. And it's lurid and sensationalist to beat the band.
Okay.
Right? We never said those words.
Sorry, guys.
Those were not
I'm just
our
trying
words.
to...
Right. We didn't say those words.
Right.
And they did the same thing to the content in the book.
Matty, can you give me the book that's in my bag?
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, there it is. This has been your worst night. This has been your worst nightmare. Let me ask you about this. If we could go back to 1976 now, and you're sitting there with the three guys, knowing what you know now, what would
this is important, guys.
Say? Would you want to do it again?
Well, hang on, just quickly pause it. Now remember, this is important. After all these years, I need to put my hands down because it's making the camera go funny. After all these years, Dave HEBLER gets an opportunity to say sorry, to show regret, and he doesn't take it. He doesn't take it. He makes excuses. What else could have we done? What would you do? After all these years, after 47 years of punishment from the fans, the Elvis fans have really punished Dave HEBLER, really giving him a lot of hate. He's in his 80s. You can see that he's angry and upset, quite stubborn. You almost feel sorry for him. You can see that he has suffered for decades at the hands of Elvis fans because of his betrayal when he wrote this book. This book ruined, in my opinion, ruined a large part of his life. And he still gets hate today. So here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity, guys, to say sorry, and look what he does.
Yeah, but we would get more education on publishing.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think we'd have looked a little bit more.
I have to agree with you on that because I do believe that that was probably the biggest obstacle with this is that you guys, if your intentions was to
We were
do
ignorant. We didn't know. What do we know about publishing?
Exactly.
But now remember, I see this as excuse making. He's now going to blame the publishers. He's also going to blame Steve Dunleavy for sensationalizing the book. But you'll never take away the fact that Elvis, their friend, they decided because they were angry to write that book, which that was really the first proper book that really bad-mouthed Elvis, that really said to the world Elvis is a drug addict, even though he wasn't. He was sick. That was the first book that said, look, I'm going to tell you a secret. Now, friends should not write books about friends. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it's fame or not fame, money or no money. You do not write a book about your friend. He's old enough. Dave HEBLER is old enough. He's still alive. He's hopefully going to get interviewed by Stefan on Artist on Record on his YouTube channel. We love Stefan. Stefan just posted a video in Sunset Boulevard and was talking about Team Elvis and defending Elvis and me, which I think is so cool. But anyway, why can't he just show regret and say sorry? Dave HEBLER, if you watch my show, just show regret and say sorry. You made a mistake. It happened 47 years ago. It's okay that you made a mistake. You can admit wrongdoing. Don't make excuses. Don't act like you were trying to save him. You were angry. You wanted money. Come on. We can look back on our lives and say that shouldn't have happened. I've done it. Most of the people right now here on my show that are much older now can look back on their lives and say that was a mistake. Yeah, we've all made mistakes. We're human.
You know?
So,
But I'll put you in my shoes.
okay,
All right, you're in my shoes. I'm going to take you back to 1976.
okay.
Okay? And somebody you love, somebody you care for, has got a drug problem, a huge drug problem.
But here we go. Right, come on, guys. Someone you love, someone you care for has got a huge drug problem. Just by saying that alone, just in this interview, which wasn't that long ago, by Dave HEBLER saying someone you love, someone you know has got a huge drug problem, you are telling the world, by the way, Elvis Presley was a drug addict. Now, even if you did have a drug addict friend, would you write a book about him? Would you tell the world that your friend, your close friend that you love, remember, he's just said someone that you love, even though he didn't actually know him that long. Come on, anyone here on defending Elvis? Anyone here on defending Elvis? Would any one of you say, if you had a friend or a relative that had a serious drug problem, would you tell the world? Would you write a book? Of course not. You don't write a book. And would you do it for money? Would you do it for money? My friend, God rest his soul, Nick, his name is, Nick. I love Nick. I wouldn't write a book about him. I would not write a book about my friend Nick. He had his problems. I would not write a book about him to make money because you love your friends, good or bad, right or wrong. And many of the things you share with your friends are very private. Very private. You would never put it in a book, whether they're famous or not. Elvis was so good to this man, and to Sonny West, and to Red West. He didn't deserve it. Elvis did not deserve it. If Elvis was here right now, and he was listening to Dave HEBLER, saying these things, oh, what would you do if your friend was a drug addict? On TV, 47 years after, 46, 7 years after his friend Elvis died, Elvis would 100% would be very upset with Dave. Elvis would be saying, shut your mouth. This is our business. This is my business. And the truth is, Dave at no point mentions that Elvis was really unwell, really sick, relied on his medication, relied on his doctors, relied on his nurses, and needed help because he was in a lot of pain and discomfort. He had serious constipation problems, glaucoma, and many other issues. Why doesn't Dave talk about all the different health issues that Elvis had, where he needed the medication, the prescribed medication? Yes, some of these medications were addictive. Yes, some of these medications made you feel a bit stoned. But Elvis took them because he was trying to fix himself. He was trying to save his own life. So when he comes out with these little comments, 47 years later, Dave, you're still doing damage. You're still portraying Elvis unfairly in a light that makes him look like an addict. You're not speaking about the fact he was so sick that he had inherited many problems with his health from his mum, from his grandparents, from his dad. His dad had serious health issues. So come on, you're not being fair. And this is your opportunity to show regret, and you don't. I actually think you come across quite angry. But I don't hate you, Dave HEBLER, I don't hate you. I want to defend Elvis with Team Elvis. This channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. We're just fans. Now, I can guarantee, Dave, that you want the fans to be happy. You may want to say to me, oh, this is none of your business, Louis. You didn't know him. You weren't there. Now, I've been a fan for over 50 years. Many people here are. Many people on Defending Elvis Presley, Team Elvis, and the fans around the world have been fans their whole life. I would say that our opinion really matters. And we have strong opinions about you writing that book. And we feel as fans, I speak on behalf of quite a few thousand fans, we feel you should apologize, show wrongdoing, show regret. We feel you making excuses for your behavior is wrong. We feel you portraying Elvis as a drug addict is very unfair to him because he was so sick. So please, when Stefan interviews you on Artists on Record soon on the YouTube channel, please say sorry, show regret. You did not write that book to fix Elvis. You did not write that book because it was your only way of helping him. No way. You did it because you were angry, you were upset, bitter, and you wanted money. Money. Don't blame the publishers. Don't blame Steve Dunleavy. They were always going to sensationalize that book. Come on. They were always going to sensationalize it to boost sales. They were always going to do that. Just show regret. Say sorry to the family. Say sorry to Lisa. Lisa Marie was very, very upset for decades with all of you. With all of you. You were supposed to be his friends. Even more so Red, West and Sonny. So you made a massive mistake, my friend. Please say sorry. I don't hate you. I'm not trying to create hate. I'm actually trying to help you because I think if you say sorry, I think if you show regret, remorse, apologize to the fans, to Elvis, to Lisa, to the world, think it's not too late. You're in your 80s. It's not too late to just, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Right, let's keep playing.
A problem that you believe is going to kill him. Wouldn't you do everything in your power to help that person?
Absolutely.
You bet you would.
Absolutely.
And that's what we
Do you know what? He's right. You do everything in your power to help your friend. Not write a book. Not write a book.
did. Right. We stood up and we tried our best.
Carolyn makes a good point. Carolyn. Now remember, imagine Elvis could have written a book because the Memphis Mafia were up to no good. They were doing things they shouldn't do, whether it be with girls or with drugs. I don't know if Dave HEBLER took anything. I don't know. But I think Sonny West definitely did. Yeah. So my point is, they were all at it. They were all doing the, the womanizing, abusing medication. They were all doing it. Now, would Elvis have written a book about Dave HEBLER? No way. Elvis respected Dave HEBLER as a karate guy. Elvis really looked up to the world of karate. Remember the phone call with Red West. Elvis is very forgiving, very friendly. Now, Elvis didn't know he was being recorded, but he still stayed polite and respectful, even offering help, even saying, you got to do what you got to do. At one point, he says there was a failure to communicate. We know about this conversation. It's all there on YouTube. There's no way. Carolyn's right. There's no way Elvis would have written a book about his friends. Never. In fact, I always found Elvis very forgiving, even to Priscilla. Elvis was even forgiving to Priscilla, and she'd done some serious harm to Elvis while she was alive. A lot of unfaithfulness. She abused him on the divorce settlements. She did some damage. Elvis still forgave her. He still wanted the public to think that they were okay and that he was looking after Lisa Marie's mum. That's the good guy that Elvis was. A forgiving man. I just want to make this a bit smaller because it's banging into my head. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Yeah, that's right, Finola. Okay, let me just go back to the video. So it sounds okay then, guys. That's good.
And we got fired. We failed.
Right.
We got fired. Nobody else stood up. Nobody.
Right.
And you hear them now, today, those who are there, saying, oh, yeah, well, you know, we tried to help. Yeah, really? What did you do? The answer is nothing. You did nothing. We did.
Right. I spoke about this yesterday, but I still want to make a point. Dave HEBLER is saying no one else did anything to help Elvis. The only people that helped him was Sonny, Red, and Dave, because they wrote this cruel book. Because they wrote this book, he's saying that this was the only help Elvis got. Does anyone believe that for a second? Dave HEBLER, do you honestly think that the only people that tried to help Elvis when he was very unwell, on heavy medication, in a lot of pain, in a lot of discomfort, that the only people that wanted to help Elvis was the people that wrote this book? Come on. That's such a cop-out. You're making excuses. Loads of people tried to help Elvis. Loads. He had his own doctor, his own nurses. He was on 24-hour watch. Obviously, there was a long period he was with Linda. Many people tried to help Elvis. Don't say to me and the fans and Team Elvis that you wrote the book to help Elvis and you're the only ones that helped him. It's ridiculous. Does anyone here listening to this now believe that the only people that helped Elvis was the Elvis What Happened book? Remember, that was released 2 weeks before he died. They must have had such a shock when Elvis died. I do think that the book being released and Priscilla demanding loads of money from Elvis on a second divorce settlement, placing a debt on Graceland's, obviously how unwell he was, how sick he was, all of these things together did play a part in him dying so young.
We knew we were going to get injured, but we stood up anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't make me some kind of angel or anything like that. I don't, to make me any better than anybody else, nothing. But that's the facts of the matter, and that's how we acted in the day.
Okay.
We were trying to save someone that we loved who was killing himself with drugs.
Okay.
I mean, everybody knew he had a drug problem. Everybody, the dog knew he had a drug problem.
So you see, look, he's still doing it. Let me just tell people we're live, make sure. Just want to quickly tell everyone we're live, so in case there's anyone that's missed it. 1 second, guys. So everyone knew he had a drug problem. Come on. What is that? Again, he's calling him a druggie. You call it a drug problem, but how about he was very, very sick? Why do you have to keep using the word drugs? We know that the word drugs is a sensationalization word. It's how to get attention. Oh, look, Elvis wanted to get stoned, get on drugs, get off his face. Elvis didn't want street drugs. So I'm just quickly telling everyone, guys. Right, is Tony on? Tony, are you there? I'm not sure if Tony is here. Let's have a look. 1 second, guys. There's a few of you missing. Let me just... Tony, are you on? Let me just send Tony a message. Okay, let's tell Elizabeth. Is Deborah on? I think Deborah's probably asleep. Deborah, we're going to wake you up. Deborah. So, I just want to give a shout out to Lucy and Clara Maria. Clara Maria and Lucy. Hi. Thank you for watching us. They watch us every day. Clara Maria and Lucy. Hi. Thank you so much for taking time to watch our show. Now let's just tell Deborah, in case she's asleep. Deborah, are you there? Let's just quickly check that we haven't missed anyone. Okay, Nicola. Emily. What's happened to her? Emily, where are you? You must be working. Emily's disappeared. Emily, we miss you. There's one for Dan. Stacy. And then we've got Rose. Rose Finney sends me lovely information. She's so good to me, Roses. Rose, you are so good. Rose Finney, you are so good to me. Many of you send me great stuff. Thank you so much, all of you. If I've missed any of you out. Now, my dog's come in. He's going to bark in a second, so I'm going to let him out. Let's play a bit of the interview. Tony, hi. Did you get my message? Right, so Tony is here. Right. Tony, I didn't think you were here. Right, I'm going to let the dog out. I'll play it, okay? Right, press play. Go.
Mm-hmm. And nobody helped.
Right, you want to go out?
Do you think it hurts that, I was thinking about, I was giving some thought to this for the last couple weeks. If you look at this book, if you read this book and you look at it through a 1976 lens, when times were much different, and you read this book now in 2024, some of the stuff in this book, it's almost like a joke, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? The stories that you would read, like if you take the worst story that I read in this book, and I go, if that happened today, it wouldn't even be newsworthy.
Yeah, I know. It wouldn't even be a big deal. Yeah.
But rewind back to 76, right? Totally different, because much more conservative-minded folks out there, where everything, you know, any little sidetrack that was taken, you were called out on it. I don't think the same thing's happening today. If you write a book like this, I don't think the same thing would happen today.
So anyhow, the conclusion of what I wanted to say about, choosing to hate on somebody on secondhand information, what does that say about you?
Right, exactly. I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely my goal in this, and Michael can speak for himself on how he feels about it, but my goal on this was to, like I say, sit down and talk with you.
So let's listen to this. He's about to say, my goal is to sit down and talk to you. I actually think he's being very carefully asking these questions in quite a nice, respectful, kind way. But I do also think, even though he's very laid back, he looks very smart, and he's took it very seriously meeting Dave HEBLER. You can see from his body language that this is important to him. He wants the fans to be happy with this interview. He also wants to ask the right questions on behalf of the fans, because this man does represent many fans, tens of thousands of fans that want answers. The fans want answers for Dave HEBLER's behavior, Sonny West's Red Dress. They want some inside information why this happened. This book, this betrayal in 1977, 2 weeks before Elvis died. Karen made a good point. Just now, let me just see if I can read it. Where we are. The interviewer should have said, you mean medication, because he was ill. Dave HEBLER keeps the drugs, this, the drugs, that. What would you do? The drugs, the drugs, the drugs. Every time he uses the word drugs, he's doing something negative to Elvis's image and reputation. There's people that are watching these shows oh, Elvis was a druggie then, was he? Or if Dave HEBLER was there, his bodyguard, Elvis must have been a druggie. There's no mention of him being unwell. No mention. This is Dave's opportunity to go, hang on a minute, he was sick. He had lung problems, heart problems, colon problems, glaucoma. He had serious aches and pains throughout his body. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't wake up. He couldn't relax. He was being overworked. There's so many things that were happening in the last couple of years to Elvis. Why none of these things mentioned? Instead, they just keep mentioning, oh, he's on drugs. What would you do if your friend was going to kill himself on drugs? Get it? It's not fair. It's not fair. Now, Karen, I wanted to ask you something, Karen. I want to find the section in this book that mentions Michael Edwards having feelings for Lisa Marie. Do you know what page it is? Karen, have you read this book? Because I've been trying to find it. I cannot find it. Because I want to go through this book on the next live stream. The next live stream on Defending Elvis. But the next live stream we do after here will be back on the Elvis Presley Fan on Keto channel. So we're going to go back and forth. Yeah? So if you do know, please let me know, Karen. Yeah? If you don't know, I'm going to suss it. I will find it. Okay? Let's keep going, guys.
Because I think if you want to know something, you have to talk to the person that did whatever it is that you want to talk to them about, right? So I thought, and so in doing that, there was never any intention to upset you or to make you angry. I just have to ask hard questions that, to be honest with you, I don't like asking because they're questions that if we're ever going to clear any of this up to any degree, these are questions that people want to know. But the thing of it is, I think that you already know in your mind that there are still going to be those people out there that aren't going to believe it. They're still going to be nasty. They're still going to write hateful letters, and there's nothing we can do about that.
I know.
Right, hang on a minute. Even that bit, I don't like it. There's always going to be people out there that are going to be nasty, that talk about, bad stuff. That isn't fair. That isn't fair. Dave HEBLER, I hope you do watch my show, because I know you're going to be on Stefan's show, so you may be watching, yeah? I just want you to know this. The fans love Elvis. The fans love Lisa. They're very protective over his image, his reputation, yeah? So they've got strong opinions. They got strong opinions about, in their opinion, the release of this book, the betrayal that you and Sonny and Red did. Writing a book about your friend for money, for revenge, because you were angry and bitter. Okay, let's throw it in, because you feel it was going to help him. Now, that doesn't make the fans bad people. The fans are not bad people because they have strong views about what happened 47 years ago. This is how they show their love. All these decades later, this is how they show their love. They want answers. They want regret. They want an apology. They want you to admit wrongdoing. They're not just being nasty and cruel. Many of these people that are Elvis fans, including myself, I'm just a family man. I've got 5 kids with my wife. I have a lovely life. I'm very happy. I love my life. Now, I'm very fortunate. I'm in a position where I can help defend Elvis. Part of the reason I defend Elvis and Lisa is because I feel that Elvis in his own way saved my life because I had a tough childhood. I think Elvis put me on the right path. It's a long story. I won't go into it. Like you, Dave, because I've watched all of this interview. Dave, you grew up very poor. You had a tough life. You had a large family and a tough life. I did as well. We have similar backgrounds growing up. But what I'm trying to say to you is that the Elvis fans, the Lisa Marie fans, just want to defend Elvis and be there for Elvis, do the right thing and show their love for Elvis. They want answers. They're not doing it because they're bad people. They're not asking these questions because they're nasty and they're bullies or they're evil. They're just Elvis fans that care about Elvis. That's all they are. And Lisa, because we know that Lisa, this book upset Lisa for decades and other books as well. So my point is, please don't belittle the fans because they have strong views. Don't belittle the fans because they've been sending you letters. Some of them hateful. No, thousands of your letters that you've got from the fans have been hateful. But you really upset them because we feel you don't write a book about your friend. You don't call your friend a druggie. You don't make money out of your friend because you say, you know, I just sell my pictures. I don't sell Elvis pictures. I just sell my pictures. The only reason anyone would buy your pictures, Dave, is because you were Elvis's bodyguard. There's no other reason. Every penny you make that relates to Elvis means you are making money from Elvis. Now, I think if people make money from Elvis and they're saying good things, that's fine. If people want to praise Elvis and talk about how great he was, how lovely he was, what a decent human being he was, how kind he was, how generous he was, great, make as much money as you want. But if you are making money off a negative book that makes Elvis look bad, that's wrong. That is wrong. Now, I accept, Dave HEBLER, I accept there are many things in this book that I say good things. I've read this book. There's a lot of good stuff in this book as well. I want to be fair to you. Yeah? You still shouldn't have written it. You and Sonny and Red wrote the book. You took the decision. You are responsible for writing that book. It was your decisions. You did it for money. You did it for revenge. You were bitter. You were angry. Red West and Sonny both admitted they were angry. I've seen some very good interviews with both of them. Red West, I've seen Red West lose his temper with an audience member because the audience member said to him, oh, why didn't you donate your profits, the money you made from the book, to charity? And then Red West loses his temper and says, oh, you want me to admit I was angry? You want me to admit we made money? You want me to admit I wanted revenge? Red West loses his temper. It's on there on YouTube. I truly believe that Red and Sonny regret writing that book. Now, I think Red was too stubborn to admit that he regretted it. I think Red suffered for the whole of his life because I truly believe Red loved Elvis. I think Sonny loved Elvis as well. And Dave, I even think you loved Elvis. But what you did was wrong. What you did was wrong, my friend. Show regret. Say sorry. Apologize to the fans. Apologize to Lisa. Apologize to the world. You don't write a book about your friend, famous or not.
Put my glass. I can't read without my glasses. Why are you laughing? You have glasses. All right. I should have done this to begin with, but I was trying to act young, and I'm not. So, all right. Let me just read this because this is Steve Dunleavy. It says Steve Dunleavy has woven together the.
So, guys, I just want you to know, my wife's going to be home soon. She's going to tell me off for being on the laptop. So, between you and me, when I hear her car pull up, I'm going to close the laptop and start washing up. All right, yeah. Oh, I haven't been on the laptop much, you know, just 10 minutes. I've been washing up, you know, tidying the house. So if I hear her car, I'm going to suddenly stop and say, bye. You'll know when she's here because they'll be banging. You hear the dogs barking. The kids will be screaming. So we could be 5 more minutes. We could be 15 more minutes, but she's going to turn up. So when she does, I'm going to pretend I haven't been on for very long. Okay. Are we in on this? It's our secret. Our secret, guys. Shh, shh. Don't tell my wife. Don't tell my wife. Okay. Let's carry on.
Experiences of 3 Presley bodyguards who were there partying with him, womanizing with him, worrying with him, tasting the pleasures and the pains of the life with the most fabulous star in showbiz history. So, if you read that, you can see what that is. That's somebody, you pick up the back of the book, oh, well, that's enticing. I'd like to read that. But then I wanted to ask you this question. And see, because I think this is a question that would help a lot of people understand
Here we go,
what your-
guys. Let's listen to this.
what your thoughts were on this. And it's on page 323, and I wrote, it's actually an epilogue of this book. Definitely need the glasses this time.
Get the glasses on. Whoop.
It says here about halfway down the book, it says, Dave HEBLER, when he got over the shock of being fired, said he was relieved. At last I could get on with my own life and not have it tied to the whims and the moods of another human. So my question is this, and I think a lot of fans, if they were sitting in my shoes right now, they'd ask you this, and this is not to make you angry. I just wanted to ask you this question. This is really a question.
Ask the question then. Come on.
Probably one of my favorite questions that I got to ask today.
Right.
If that's the case, you said, I'm glad it's finally over. Why didn't you leave before? So you came on with Elvis in 74 full time, right? In 74 to be a bodyguard.
72 part-time, 74 full-time.
So 74 is rolling along and some things aren't making you happy. 75, why didn't you leave? Because you wrote in there, or somebody wrote for you. I wanted to know if that was your feeling. I'm glad it's over.
Not really. It was, I didn't think of those terms. I wasn't suffering.
Dog's barking away.
You know. I was dealing with the situation.
Okay.
You know, whatever. I wasn't berserk. Had I been thinking like that, I'd have quit.
Right.
Buttons.
So I think the other thing that people get upset about, and we're going to wind this up on the book here in just a minute, but I just have a few more questions, and then we're going to talk about happy stuff. One of the questions that I have is that you guys had a pretty good life with Elvis. In other words, you're flying. It's not like you're on tour buses. You're flying. You're going all over the place, and lots of pretty girls running around, and if you drank, I guess you had alcohol at the ready. Anything you did, I guess food. There was tons of food. You stayed in the best of hotels most of the time. I think that would be a question that people would ask. If you had all that, what was so bad about it? Other than what we'd already discussed with the drug situation, but what was
Nothing was so bad
nothing so
about it.
bad? Okay, all right.
It was all fine and well and good. From my point of view, the best thing is I got to play on golf courses who would never even let me see their gates.
So I'm just not happy with any of that. All of that reply, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. They were given the life of royalty. The life they had with Elvis was most people dream of the kind of lifestyle these guys lived with Elvis. It's just so sad, all of it. Just so sad. So Finola says envy and greed was the motivation. Carolyn says Elvis paid for everything. Debbie says Elvis was their wingman. I agree, Carolyn. He didn't answer that question. That answer is pathetic. Elvis paid for everything. Carolyn says they would never admit they were all a bit envious of Elvis. I agree. I personally feel that they wanted to be Elvis. Don't forget, Elvis got all the attention, the adoration, the love, the everything. You name it. All the good stuff came to Elvis. There was jealousy there, guys. I think Priscilla's the same. I think Priscilla wants to be Elvis. I really think that. I think Priscilla wanted to be Elvis from Mike Stone onwards. When Priscilla made the decision to go after Mike Stone, the karate champion, that was the time when she was like, I'm going to be Elvis. I'm going to be Elvis. Honestly, guys, I really believe that. I'm not sure how you guys feel. So Carolyn, he was living the lap of luxury. Carolyn, good question. If he didn't like it, he's a grown man. He could have left. Oh, yeah. No, Debbie, you got to defend me. My wife's going to come running in a minute. Yeah, Lorna, I am being naughty. Yep, Deborah, you know I'm being naughty. Finola, Aurora is right. Of course she is. Of course she is. She's the wife. What's that saying that you guys keep telling me? Happy wife, happy life. Which is true. Teresa, they don't know how Elvis felt. So true. Karen, he knew there were so many people relying on him. He had to carry on working, though he was in so much pain and discomfort and very medicated. And also, Elvis was a workaholic. He was. Elvis was a workaholic, right going back to the 1950s. Elvis, you would never call Elvis lazy. Never. Now, with the arthritis thing, I've heard it a few times that there's a possibility he had the early onset of arthritis. So, yeah, Carolyn, we want an apology. We definitely do. Right, so I'm just going to play a little bit more and let the dog out because the dog's driving me mad.
That's a pretty good deal right there.
Right, Princess, come on.
I wanted to ask you,
Princess,
what were
come
your
on.
feelings about, because this question has been
Come on,
asked
keep
to me
barking
by
every 2
people
seconds.
that friends of mine, where they kind of want to, and some fans have asked me this question. Do you think that there's a difference between where you stood in this story than
Thank you, Joe.
Red
You called
and
it
Sonny?
Princess.
Because if you think about it, Red was with him from high school on.
Yes, there was a difference.
And then, so then there's Sonny, who just a little bit lesser time than that, but not a lot. But then you come in way late in the game. And I think a lot of people wonder, why did you feel the need to get involved? You know, I guess what I'm saying is most people might look at you and say, why didn't you let the guys that knew him the best deal with that, and then you not deal with that?
Yeah, and I think this is an issue because obviously Red West, Sonny, they knew him from the late 50s, early 60s, I think, with Sonny. But he has a good point. Dave HEBLER really didn't know Elvis that well, hadn't been with him that long. So the fans feel this.
Because all three of us were fired.
Okay.
So all three of us decided to join together and go public.
Okay.
Now, you see, he admits it straight away. The reason he joined with Sonny and Red is because they got fired, which shows clearly that they were angry, upset, they wanted revenge. They wanted to expose Elvis. They wanted money. They were bitter. They were angry. Come on.
So what would be your answer when people say this was purely done for money? What
Here we
would
go,
be your
guys.
answer? And again, I want to make
Now, great question. This was purely done for money, which is what the fans believe.
sure that you understand. I'm not trying to
No, I
say-
understand.
I just want to I want to ask this question. What would you say to the fans when they say this was done purely for money because you had been fired? All you wanted was
Such a good question, guys. Such a good question. Let's hear it.
a book deal to
Purely for money.
Right.
Huh? I get that a lot, by the way.
get. So
Yeah. Making money off of Elvis. Oh, wait. Isn't that what EPE does? Of course it is.
okay.
And they do it every day.
Look, isn't that what EPE does? Elvis Presley Enterprises. Yeah, but they didn't write a book that called him an addict. It's a big difference.
All day, in every way possible, all the time. And
Also, Elvis Presley Enterprises were not Elvis's friends that grew up with him. Red and Sonny grew up with Elvis. Dave HEBLER worked very closely with Elvis. Elvis was so kind to Dave. So comparing it to Elvis Presley Enterprises is so wrong because they're a business. They're a management team of money-making people, businessmen, entrepreneurs. Completely different.
they make millions of dollars. I don't do that at all. I market my stories of my experience.
I like Teresa's comment. They are all two-faced. They are all two-faced. It's true.
Including the 4.5 years that I was involved with Elvis Presley. And I have every right to market my story. And all of my stories are that way.
Yeah, do you know what? He does have every right to market his story, but it's still a betrayal. I have every right to write a book about 50 different people that I grew up with. It doesn't make it okay. Dave HEBLER. It doesn't make it okay that you have the right to tell your story, to write a book. It doesn't make it right. Yes, you're allowed to do it. Yeah, it doesn't make it okay.
I sell pictures of me, and Elvis is in the picture.
Right.
I don't sell pictures of Elvis.
Again, I sell pictures of myself. I don't sell pictures of Elvis. Nobody would buy his pictures unless he was Elvis's bodyguard. The only reason anyone is interested in Dave HEBLER is because he was Elvis's bodyguard. No other reason. He would be unknown if he hadn't have worked for Elvis.
I market my story. That's what I do, and that's what I'm doing.
Understood.
Yeah, as one of you just said, was it Carolyn? Yeah. Lisa called them leeches. Lisa's done a few interviews where she won't even say their names. She won't say their names. She just, you know who she's talking about. She did not like any of them. They all betrayed her father.
So, if you could put a dollar amount, what was?
Oh yeah,
what did you
I
make,
forgot to do
what did
that.
you make
Money,
off the book?
money, all the millions and.
I just find him so cocky now. Now, he now will tell them the commission he got per book, but he did get a lump sum up front and they were expecting to make a lot more money. Yeah, it sounds like they were ripped off by the publishers. It does sound like everything was sensationalized to sell more books. Of course it was. That's what you do. That's what publishers do. He now tries to belittle the commission he got per book. He doesn't mention the large amount of money he was paid up front. They were put up in a hotel for 30 days, all expenses paid, while they put this book together. He doesn't mention, really they wanted to make a fortune. They thought they were going to make a fortune. They were disappointed it was such a small amount of money. In the end, they didn't get the money they wanted.
Dollars you made off this book, you monster. Here's the truth. I made 1.6 cents per book, sir.
Wow.
That's the truth. And then for the last 10 years that the book was in print, we never received a single penny.
Look, he tries to belittle their commissions and he just said the last 10 years the book was in print, they got nothing. But that doesn't really mean anything because they wanted more money. If for the last 10 years the publishers gave them money, they would have been happy to receive it. Yes, they were disappointed the amount they got. Yes, they were disappointed because they didn't get the amount they thought they were going to get, but they wanted it. They did want it. If they were handed large amounts of money for betraying their friend Elvis, they would have took the money. They would have took the money. That is a fact.
Nothing. They screwed us from the beginning to the end in every way possible.
Now you can tell he's upset with the publishers and Steve Dunleavy. He feels like they were screwed over by the publishers. They probably were, but so what? So what? To be honest with you, that is what they deserve because greed and betrayal is what wrote the book. Sorry, Dave, I'm just being honest.
Lied to us like it was going out of style, and we believed them.
Yeah, they did lie to you, Dave, but you lied to Elvis. You lied to Elvis.
Because we were naive and we were foolish, and I guess we...
Naive, foolish, and greedy. Greedy.
Didn't know how to verify that or do anything different.
Right.
We chose to believe them, and that's the fruit of us being ignorant.
Well,
So before my wife turns up, guys, I want to just give you a quick overall thing here. Because in a minute, the interview changes and he just talks about his own life. We're not here to listen to Dave HEBLER's life story. We're not interested. We are interested, as Elvis fans, as Lisa Marie fans, to try and understand why Dave HEBLER Red and Sonny wrote this book, this betrayal of their friend. Yeah? We're not interested in Dave's personal life. Dave, no offense, my friend. We're not interested in you as a person and your life. We're interested in Elvis, Lisa, his family, defending his family, protecting his image and his reputation, and overall protecting his legacy. So, to you, Dave HEBLER, if you watch this show, and I think you might, I've just watched 40 minutes of you being interviewed by this lovely gentleman. I've forgotten his name. I think it was a great interview, and the person who did this interview, you did a fantastic job, by the way. You really showed respect and good manners. You asked the right questions. You did it in a very chilled out, laid back way, and I love this interview. I think it's really good. But you've exposed Dave. Dave comes across as an angry, bitter man that wanted money and revenge and betrayed his best friend. And this whole interview, even though it's very interesting, has been a complete letdown for me, because we just want, as fans, to see regret, to see an apology. We want Dave to say he made a mistake. We want Dave to admit wrongdoing, admit he betrayed his friend. This is what we wanted, Dave. You did none of it. You called him a druggie again and again. You made all different excuses for your behavior. You tried to blame the publishers. Then you try and say you didn't make money off Elvis's name, which is ridiculous. The only reason you get any income using Elvis's, the link that you had to Elvis, is because of Elvis. You would be a normal average person. It was Elvis that made you different, that made you stand out. And the only reason you get any attention now is because of you once working for Elvis. You were lucky. Elvis gave you the opportunity to work for him. And you threw it in his face after 3.5 to 5 years of working for him. You betrayed him. You owed him more than that. You owed him more than that. And Sonny and Red, I think it ruined their lives. I think Sonny and Red making this decision to write that book ruined their lives. And I think you have been hated on for 50 years, nearly 50 years, because you joined in on making that book. Now, we can't change the past, Dave. We can't change what's happened. We can't change what you did. You're a human being. You made a mistake, a massive mistake. Yeah. But what you can do is to look back on your life and say, sorry, I shouldn't have done that to Elvis. I'm sorry to the fans. I'm sorry to Lisa. I'm sorry just in general for betraying a friend. Because Elvis was a human being. You were his friend. You betrayed him. You wrote a book about your friend. You'll never get away from that. You can blame the publisher. You can blame Steve Dunleavy. You can make loads of excuses, but you will never change. When you made that greedy decision for money from that book, you crossed the line. You stepped into the dark. You stepped into the dark. And you are still angry. You are still bitter. You show no regret, no remorse. You make excuse after excuse. I find you quite arrogant. I don't hate you. I don't hate you, Dave. Of course you have a lovely side, a nice side. Of course you're a human being. You've probably got a nice family as well. This interview is not good enough. And I'm hoping, Dave, as a fan, remember the fans are what matter now that Elvis has passed. The millions of fans want Elvis's reputation cleared, his image cleared. And I'm hoping that when Stefan at Artists on Record interviews you, because he told me you've been in touch with him for an interview, I'm hoping in that interview you take it as an opportunity to make amends and say sorry to the fans. Sorry to Lisa's memory. Sorry that it happened. Sorry you made such a massive mistake against your friend who was only good to you. You guys were always going to get jobs. You know that. You guys were always going to get jobs. Trying to accuse Elvis of being the reason you couldn't feed your families is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I'm just going to read a few comments. I think we've said enough. Let me just play another minute
Going to make a little more off the book because I'm going to give you $5 when we leave because,
Oh, yeah.
because for the ones that I glued together.
No, I have another book, one I wrote. You can buy that. You can buy that book.
So, Mr. Hebler, I wanted to ask you, so the book was put out on August 1st. We all know what happens on August 16th. Do you feel that the Achilles heel in this whole thing was
The what?
the Achilles heel in this was that Elvis died 2 weeks after you put the book out? Do you think?
And could you imagine how it made them feel that Elvis died weeks after the book came out? Could you imagine how gutted they were, how ashamed they were, how humiliated they were?
That's what did the most damage? Because I was wondering, from your point of view, if Elvis hadn't died and this book hit the bookshelf, do you think it would have been? It would have just.
It
been
would have been
another book?
totally different.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the emotions that people went through when Elvis died, I mean, my emotions were the same way when I heard that he died. I mean, I was driving home on the freeway with my wife's birthday present
So he's going to tell us about finding out when Elvis passed away, okay, guys?
because it was her birthday. And I heard on the radio, on the car, Elvis Presley died. I went, what? I'm talking to the stupid radio. And he repeated it. I'm sorry to tell you, but Elvis Presley has passed away. He's died.
So sad.
And I couldn't, all of a sudden, I couldn't see. I'm out of tears streaming down. I had to pull off the
And I really don't believe that they thought that Elvis was gonna die, but so sad, guys.
freeway. So I pull off the freeway, and I'm just sitting there. I don't know, whatever. And a highway patrolman pulls up behind me, comes over, and he says, sees me crying. He says, "Sir, are you in trouble? Can I help you? Is there a problem?" And I said, "Yeah, Elvis Presley died."
I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna play a song. I just want to say, guys, thank you for joining me. I have to go, but I will play a song. Guys, what a disappointment. What a disappointment. We come together here at Defending Elvis to defend Elvis. This was a disappointment. It was very interesting. Very interesting. I really hope that when he goes on Stefan's show, Artists on Record on YouTube, I really hope he gives a different kind of interview. I really want to thank the interviewer. I've forgotten his name. You did a fantastic interview, my friend. Thank you so much. Guys, it's all very sad. Elvis did not deserve it. He could not defend himself. Elvis can't defend himself. He had to take all this flack. Anyway, guys, I have to say goodbye. I'm going to play us out with a tune. Thanks to all of you for joining. The next show we do, which is probably maybe in about an hour, will be on the Defending Elvis Presley fan channel. I have to show it. Now, we are going to be doing a lot more on this channel. A lot more. So it's very important you subscribe, guys. Let me just make sure I can see what I'm showing you. Please subscribe here. It's very important. Elvis Presley fan on keto. Elvis Presley fan. It's important you subscribe to that channel, guys, because we're going to be doing a lot of Elvis stuff there and diet stuff, but also Elvis stuff. The next Elvis live stream on Elvis Presley fan on keto will be about Elvis movies, the Elvis movie trailers. So thanks, kids. You've been great, all of you, Lorna and Emily and Bernie and Karen and Deborah and Debbie and everyone. Thank you. Let's play a song. I'm going to play you out with a beautiful song. My favorite song at the moment.
Don't know why you'd run.
Let's go from the
What you're
beginning.
running to.